Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? Good evening, good afternoon, morning. I hope you are all doing well. There are not many of you out there. I got totally screwed by the times they are changing. The clock changes, right? I am getting I got really screwed over by that, I think. So you're almost certainly watching this on catch up, on replay or whatever it's called. I don't know. But good evening, afternoon. I hope everybody's doing well. I just had a real senior moment, right? And I think that it's you know when they say you die and your whole life flashes before your eyes? Well, something similar happened to me, right? The best bit of Star Trek 2 flashed before my eyes, right? This is not a joke. This actually happened. I clicked the start broadcast button. You're doing it right on time. So then I have to click to play the the intro, right? And I'm like, what day is it, man? I'm like, oh, Saturday, right? So I'm like, where's the Saturday intro? Looking for Saturday, and they're like, oh no, it's called the Tizzles intro. And I'm going up and down, looking for it. So here's what, and this is what flashed before my eyes at that as I frantically searched, where is it? You know, as I frantically so. You know that bit in Star Trek 2, right, where Reliant has first met and kicked the shit out Enterprise, right? And the computer smashed. We need time. Time is a luxury. You do not. Time is a luxury. You do not. You do not enjoy, Captain. I can't do the heaving chest, right? But that's it. But no, that's the wrong one. What's the music about? Anyway, right. So then Spock has the idea of basically hacking Reliant, right? And this was in AD 2? Nobody had heard of hacking then. And he says, well, learn how things work on a starship, right? I really like that little lecture he gives her, right? They both are like idiot child, right? Captain, yes, we're getting it for you now, Captain. Okay, Captain. And then we're sending it to you now. And then do, and they put the switches up. And then you get this great shot, right, of the close up of the readout, and the shield start dropping. And you zoom back and you see like the second generation Karney kid, right? And the shields are dropping. Raise them! I can't! Right? So then there's this bit where Carl's looking over at the console going, the override! Where is the override? And that's essentially where I was just now. Right? Oh, screwing me up even more. This says I've been online for an hour. No, I haven't. This is very strange. It's doing my head in, man. It's doing my head in. Anyway, you seem to be streaming fine. Good evening, good morning. We are going to be looking at lots of Jodiness today. We're going to be looking at how people looked at Jodin. Let me pull up the thumbnails. All right, get this. Have you, by the way, have you had Rasputin going through your fucking head non-stop? Because I have. And it's a great song, don't get me wrong. I forgot how much I love Boney M. But, I can't get that shit out of my bloody head. And again, great song, right? I actually like the scene. I thought Saskatchewan was good. I like that, okay? I call it as I see it, right? And if it do like I actively like that scene. I would have liked it if it's I think Jodie's shit, but it's we know that, right? We know that. But I thought that scene was very good. I like the whole Russian dancing. Question is, and if you haven't seen it, Saskatchewan's master is Rasputin in it. But was he always Rasputin, or was he? Did he take over? Did he assume the identity of Rasputin, or was there never a Rasputin? Was it really just the master? It's not like, oh, I'm interested in the story. It's like, did they just screw it up, right? That's basically where it's. Where's it? Let me pull up some stuff on what we got going on. What do we have going on? Okay, here's a little sampling. A warm, hot, a warm, hot splattering across the chest of this is coming tomorrow. So I'm not dealing with it so much tonight, even though this is the big news story right now. And I think we basically broke it on this chat. Well, Telegraph broke it as well, right? Me and the Telegraph at the same time. Telegraph, just a few days earlier. But yeah, anyway, basically the same thing. So Yeah, look, the Disney Plus deal thing. This is something I do want to talk about. Disney Plus thing is going to be I think hopefully it's going to be very, very good. I understand why everybody may be nervous, right? Everybody's saying that Disney now has creative control. I do not think that's true. I think Russell D. Davies has complete and total creative control, right? Yeah, I mean, like, basically, look, they're looking to make Doctor Who a brand similar to the MCU or Star Wars, having destroyed them. So you might go, "Oy vey, wait a minute, these are people who fucked up Star Wars and the MCU." I'll say, yes. Maybe this time they'll be nice. No. This time, I'm saying, I think the differentiating factor here is 5 years. The data of the result of the agenda-driven entertainment, right? We got the money men know the data, right? It's not questionable anymore, right? So there's that going on, right? You got the professionalism of Russ D. Davies. Look, I'm sorry, I think he can make things that a whole audience can like. Why do I think that? Because if he can do it, right? If James Gunn can do it, and he can, I'm sorry, Suicide Squad was awesome. Guardians of the Galaxy was awesome. Peacemaker was awesome, right? If he can make fantastic entertainment that can entertain everybody and be woke as fuck, which he is. Let's be clear, he's woke as fuck, right? They all are. I think Russell can do it too. I think Russell intends to do it too, because I think, look, I think he believes in all the, woke causes to a certain extent. I don't know how much. I mean, I think he does. But I think he likes to be effective. And he sees what's happened has been really, really detrimental. Like, I'm sorry. 5 years ago, 7 years ago, say, people were really kind of fine with the trans community, right? There was no antagonism, right? There was this like, wait, what? Like, why are you shouting at me thing? We were all fine. When Obama was president, there was no racism. It was all groovy, right? It was all groovy. So this activism we had going on has been a massive failure. Right. I mean, thankfully, they've moved on to, activism about climate change and gluing their faces to paintings and shit. Fine. Glue your face to a fucking painting. Leave Doctor Who alone. But, okay, so everything we saw in the press conference was very, very, very clear, right? It was very clear that they wanted it to be retain its unique identity, right? Which I think that's what Russell D. Davies can and will do. Right, I think he can do it to satisfy both bosses. I think he can make it like they like Shooty. They like he's a Rwandan immigrant. They like that he's black. They like that. I think he's gay. I've never seen him suck a cock, but okay. Honestly, it doesn't really impact on my evaluation of you as a human being. Right, I have to tell you. I'm like, okay, it's like that, and I like green socks. That's groovy, baby. I mean, like, whatever, mate. Honestly, whatever is groovy. Whatever floats your boat, darling. Okay, that's basically my point there. But like, it's really important to Disney, right? And so I think having Yasmin Finney in it as a supporting character, and I think she's going to be good. I think Rusty Davies saw her and just imagine, and I bet I can make that work, and I bet he did. If I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong, right? If I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. Look, I do try and appraise things on their own merits, right? Well, evidence of that, I'm praised the Rasputin dance in Power of the Daleks, and I really genuinely liked it, right? I really absolutely genuinely liked it. So this is going out tonight. This is from my last stream where you looked at the Guardians trailer, which looks really fun. Like a bit of Guardians of the Galaxy, right? We looked at the Guardian trailer, and we looked at the story that he's taking over DC, which is good fucking news. I tell, generally speaking, the tides they are turning, right? The times they are changing. I feel it like, holistically. Sony and Twitter's a big fucking deal, right? Even though nobody has Twitter, right? My kid's like, Dad, nobody has Twitter. What's wrong with you? I'm like, no, but it's like all the journalists use it. It's whatever Twitter thinks is the press cycle, right? That's why Donald Trump is coming back on Twitter. I can't imagine that he's not. No matter how much he says he isn't, he has to. I mean, like, he simply has to, right? Maybe he'll do like exclusive stuff on True Social, but he has to. And I do hope Twitter establishes some kind of link with Rumble, right? So we can like join that together and have that ecosystem grow. Because I'm on Rumble, right? If I'm Rumble, hit the Rumble button, baby. But yeah, that'd be awesome, right? I think Twitter's huge. I think this story here is huge. I think Rusty Davis, Jacob Doctor. I mean, again, may I just point out the fucking logo? I mean, like, how much more traditional do you want? Okay, I think it's traditional Doctor Who, with a black guy in it. Would you? I'm like, okay, who gives a shit? Yeah, let's nail it down. I don't think he's gay. I don't think he's a gay Doctor Who. I don't think Doctor Who will say, I will stop the Daleks' evil plan by sucking this stick. Really, Doctor? Yes, I will suck this stick. And Russell's like saying, just imagine, that's going to win so many people over. I don't think that's going to happen. Right? I do not think that's going to happen. But, I could be wrong, baby. Who knows? Kanye. Oh, I released this. There was also on my stream last time, but I released like a 6-minute video. Yeah, Kanye, that's anti-Semitic, idiot. Yeah, it is. Okay. So I mean, like, I think he strikes me as somebody he might be able to be explained to, but what's he gonna do? Never apologize, even though you're wrong. All right. Again, Kanye, mate, come on my channel. We'll talk it out. I'll make you kosher, baby. Okay, I'll kosher you. Right? Normally, cutting the throat, but I don't mean it in that way. Right? I'm gonna make you kosher. Right? You'll come on the rabbi's channel. I have no starstruckness with it. It's so funny, right? If Matt Irving and Kanye West was on, I'll be giggling over Matt Irving. I'll be like, tell me about the Blake 7 when he had to make a scratch build kit in 3 minutes. I'm like, Kanye, shut the fuck up. Oh, tell me more, but that would so happen. Right? That's how geeky I'm like, I don't give a shit, Kanye. Come on, mate. Come on. I don't mind. We'll have a laugh, baby. We'll have a laugh. I mean, like, dude, you're indoors. You can take your sunglasses off, mate. Okay? That's nice. Not what stock that is this. Stuff of Nightmares. Yeah. Bit of a miss, this one. Yeah, like, was it Classic Doctors, New Monsters? Only problem, I mean, I guess the brain crabs are sort of a monster, but there's no real monster. You have the Trivians and you have the Mocks or Food, or it's just, it just doesn't really gel together at all, right? Bit of a miss, this one. Sorry, it was a struggle to get through. Somebody else in the comments said, it's really a real struggle to get through. There's a few of them that have been a struggle to get through. I really want to listen to the Bernie Summerfield one, but I can't get to it yet. This I put out, was it the other day, I think, on Friday. Was this going out? Here, what? You know what? Let me have a look. What's it? What I got scheduled for today? Hang on. This is going out today. Yeah, and the James Gunn one's going out today. There you go. Look at me ahead of the game. Yeah, but I thought, oh shit, though. Yes, you are, darling. But love you, little Jodie. Oh, you're a good little Jodie. Who's a good little Jodie? Oh, yes, you are. UK newspaper, The Guardian. I mean, really? The Guardian. You become such a caricature of yourself, right? I mean, like, it's as if somebody's taking the piss by writing like a piss take Guardian article, like exaggerating it 1,000,000,000%, and that's what you actually publish. You know, like, I mean, Guardian, really, darling? Really? Yeah, you won't calm down a bit. You won't calm down. By the way, my daughter went to what's it called again? IKEA, right? Yeah, 1 second. My daughter went to IKEA, And she brought back a bunch of the meatball sauce. IKEA meatballs are freaking tastic. IKEA food is great, right? And I bought you a present. I'm like, really? Well, that's nice. I thought she bought me some of the IKEA meatballs, which are very good. Again, can't overstress it. The IKEA meatballs, mwah. And they're very kosher as well. It's funny in like these Jewish religious holidays. This thing called Chol Moed. They're like a few days a year, twice a year. You always find IKEA is packed beyond packed with super religious families because A, the food's kosher, and B, there's all this they have the playground they can send all the kids to, and then they can hang out in the furniture, right? And there's some cool stuff. I like poking around IKEA. Anyway, I got you a present. I'm like, oh, that's nice. So what's the present she got me? She got me a snow globe. I thought that's so sweet. Thank you so much, my darling. There you go. Fine. And then we got tonight's show. We got. I'm 3 episodes behind on Andor. I think we're only doing 2. I'll do 2 this week, 2 next week, and maybe then we'll do 2 for the fun, aren't I? That way you'll get like 1 episode's worth of stuff. It should have been a movie. I mean, it's all like boring. The plot doesn't move. Okay, the end of episode 6, he got arrested, and episode 7 is he's in jail. That's it. I'm not fucking around. That's the I've just done it. I've done the whole Andor, right? Episode 6, he gets arrested. No, episode 6, they do the bank job. Episode 6, he does a bank job. Episode 7, I don't want to put anything to it. Episode 6 does a bank job. Episode 7, he gets away. He tries to meet his mother again, but he has to go into hiding, and he ends up getting arrested on this beach planet. Okay. Episode 6, he does a bank job. Episode 7, he gets arrested. Episode 8, he's in jail. That is the plotting of Andor, right? It's like... And there's this subplot in it that makes no sense. I like this uptight guy who wants to be a super cop. And there's a sort of hot woman. The sort of hot woman. Hey, let's have a look at Andor cast. As what does she look like when she's not like or Imperial dominatrix? Andor cast. Yeah, she's like very blonde Imperial dominatrix. Wasn't her. No, not her. Okay, who is it? Not more Mothra. Hang on. Andy Serkis just showed up in episode 9, I think. Who am I looking for? What's the name of her? I can't find her now. Hang on, I'm looking through the cast. I know. I mean, like, they got a guy in it who was in it for a scene, right? And I can't find the one I'm looking for. I don't know. But what's her name? Is it Big? No. Now it's really annoying me. Hang on. Do Andor Imperial officers. Okay, let's have a look. See if one of them comes. Okay. Who is this one? Hang on. Here we go. Find a picture. Now download. Doink. Oh, come on. Denise Gough is her name, apparently. Okay, I'm trying to get you a picture. Really? They're all this like weird non-format. I want a JPEG. She looks quite hot. Let the world see. Let the world see this kind of hot. Another one? Here, one second. Okay, we'll do it this way. Save image as. Okay, we're doing save image as. I don't know. Andor. Fine. Let's see how it downloads. What is AVIF? I never heard of AVIF. Okay, we'll do this. I'm going to do it as JPEG. We'll try that. AVIF? Why do I have to learn something new? I don't want to learn something new. Oh, so annoying. Don't show me anything new. And it doesn't work. Oh, Agita. That is my life. Fine, I'm gonna find you a fucking picture. I don't give a shit at this point. At this point, it's happening. At this point, it's going down. Oh, about this one. I think I tried this one already. Well, I could share the screen so you could see her. All right, this one's good. So, okay, she's in Looper. Let's see. Is this another? Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. Okay, her. Who is she? She's kind of hot. She's kind of hot in some like bitchy dominatrix way, which, you know, is a way I don't really mind, right? Doesn't bother me at all. I like the bitchy dominatrix thing, you know. People pay good money for that. Would I pay good money for that? I don't know. So who is she? I just found a name. Denise Goh. Okay, let's look up Denise Goh. Goh. Okay, I'll do that. Oh, there you go. And I'm getting a picture. And she's reasonably hot in real life. Like, reasonably hot. But I think she's hotter in Andor. I mean, you decide. She's reasonably hot in real life. I'm trying to find another picture, but let's see what she's been in. Hang on. She's apparently been in The Fall. Hang on. She's not 61. Fuck off. Okay, 1 second. Here she is. She was Denise Goh. She was born in Ireland in 1980, which makes her like 40. Okay, I can see that. Ada finished was born in 1980, who was a father electrician, later a fisheries expert. Mother was. I don't care. What she? What the fuck? Why are you bothering me with like you know her early childhood? What's she been in? Oh, and she's been in a bunch of stuff. Casualty, Lie With Me, The Inspector Lynn Mystery, Outlanders, Shooting of Thomas Hurdle, Messiah: The Rapture, Silent Witness, Walking the Dead, The Kid. Okay, this is English then. Musketeers. She was in one, and she was in Stella. Stella. She was in Battlefront. Yeah, she looks like she was a video game character. Fine. Gorilla. Okay, whatever. Reasonably, and now she's in Andor. Right now she's in Andor, and now she's there. Hotter in Andor, right? Hotter in Andor, I think. But I mean, she's got. Listen, not to be crass. She's got a very blowjobbable mouth, if I may say so, darling. Very less so in real life. Much more hair, but you know, wouldn't say no. Anyway. I mean, obviously, I would. I'm married. I'm a happily married man, obviously. The end of Big Finish, yeah. Oh. There's like a death now. Those rumors may be true now. I'm thinking those rumors might actually be true. That started circling on Thursday. I was like, no. Like the thing I was hearing was they're like starving them of their ability to advertise and characters they can use. And so they will, and then they'll eventually buy the license when they don't really have anything left, right? And it just didn't sound like the way Rusty Davis would do it to me, right? Maybe, I don't know, maybe it is, but my guess is this. Look, I mean, if these Disney plans are true, which they could well be, again, wanting to make it into an Avengers-like hub, you know, an MCU-like hub, or it means there's going to be a lot more content. So let's actually talk about that for a second, right? Best case scenario, right? Best case scenario, we get all classic Who, right? But I love the idea of normies being introduced, like, you know, Doctor Who fans being introduced into classic Who. So, you know, I would love, let's say they're all on Disney Plus, right? Or like Rusty Davis to like do a watch along. I bet watch alongs will come back, right? Because I think that was really important in the development of this Doctor Who. It was certainly important for David Tennant to come back for 3 episodes, which is such a good idea. Boy, did they need to scrape off the stench of Jodie, and boy, are they doing it quickly, right? It's such a good idea, right? It's a very, very good idea, and I'm looking forward to it, quite frankly. But okay, so imagine they have all classic Doctor Who, but then they have like Rusty Davis or David Tennant or somebody record introductions to favorite stories, like say, "Oh, you must watch City of Death. Oh, it is marvelous." I mean, you can imagine him do that, right? And he sits down and does like he could do a live watch along, like in video. Episode could be playing, and you could have him in video doing. I mean, like, why not? These are the technological possibilities we have, and wouldn't it? Just imagine. Oh, wouldn't it be marvelous? I mean, it really would be, right? It really would be. So, but I think Big Finish is just too small, right? I mean, best one in the world is just too small an operation, right? They may be able to make the content, right? And they can churn out content and they know what they're doing making content, but their distribution it's like no, it's like homebrew, right? It's like nothing, right? I mean, I think they're probably going to want distribution by something like Instagram or not Instagram by Spotify or something, like that. I think that's the sort of distribution they're going to be looking for, like that. Audible. I don't know what, but they're going to want something like that. Right. I mean, I hope basically they just keep the same staff, right? And they make a new office at Bad Wolf, right? I mean, they will be. I mean, that would be best case scenario for me. Nick Briggs becomes the head of Bad Wolf Audio, right? And moves the license forward. I trust it in his hands. But yeah, I guess, and so we'll read those rumors, and I think it's, I think they might really be in trouble, right? I think I don't see them surviving this, right? I'm surprised also they haven't updated their branding already, because they released a cover for next year, with the Jodie branding. I'm like, no, Nick, whip that thing off. What is wrong with you? Nobody wants to remember it. Scrub it off quickly. It's like, have you seen those people with those pressure cleaners with that special chemical go and get rid of graffiti? That's what they're doing to the Whittaker era. Like, yeah, we're best on now. Bye-bye, failure. It's really what's going on, isn't it? Fine. Let's get to the chat. Jordan Lee is here. Hey, June. Jordan, you were here at the beginning. You were here where nobody else was, manning the trenches. I tell you, I'm very impressed. No notifications, and then a terrifying inability to find the opening video. Will Rusty Davis bring back Torchwood, but with a new team? My guess is not. My guess it's either classic stuff resurrected or all new stuff, right? My guess is Torchwood is. I mean, I think they'll probably if they have the rights to it, it'll go on the hub. Who owns it? Who owns Torchwood? I guess BBC, right? I guess BBC. So I imagine Sarah Jane Adventures and Torchwood will be on the hub. That'd be good. I like the early. I like Chris Chibnall's Torchwood. I mean, really, it's the weirdest thing, but I like that season. I thought season 2 was much better than season 1. I thought season 1 was fun. Man, you know what? I'm in the mood for a Torchwood rewatch. I've been in the mood to watch Doctor Who for a while, right? I've been a bit Doctor Who'd out, right? So I'm really in the mood for a Torchwood rewatch, especially the early ones, right? Where they're fun, right? You had like monsters in Cardiff. I like that. Right, I like that. I got to rewatch Torchwood. It's been on too long. Dan M is here. Greetings. I mean, again, the first ones. Greetings, felicitations. Hope you're all well. Maybe I'll make that. I've been thinking about starting a TikTok channel, right? Because that seems to be what all the kids are doing. How long are TikTok videos? Let's have a look. because I could do reviews, like quick reviews like that on it. Video length. Yeah, I could totally do a quick review. It's you can up to 10 minutes. Fine. Yeah, I'm going to start a TikTok channel then. I think I have to, don't I? So I could do that. I could do Torchwood on those. Yeah, it'd be fun. Fine. So where we are? So yeah, I think I might move all my reviews over to TikTok. Right? Yeah, maybe. I think that's a better format for it. Right, and keep them under 10 minutes. Great felicitations, Darren. How you doing? DC is here. There's no silly sauce in the fridge. Pray for me. Well, what's the silly sauce? Ooh, I like silly sauce. Mr. Jekyll and Hyde is here. How you doing, Colin Archer? Thank you for joining us, Colin. How are you, sir? But yeah, again, I would love the idea of Russell Davis introducing a new generation who got hooked on shooting Gatwa to classic Doctor Who, right? To let's watch Robots of Death together. Wouldn't that be incredible? And I could see that happening, right? I'm telling you, man. I'm saying this like the sands are shifting. We got this big election here in Israel on Tuesday. We got the midterms. We got Elon Musk buying Twitter. We got Rusty Evans Doctor Who. We got the end. We got the end of the Whittaker Doctor Who. I mean, here's the thing: we forget how bad it was because it was just over, right? But you forget. We can remember how we know how technical it is, but there was a pain in the air during the Whittaker Doctor Who. And it ended, right? It's it's over. Oh, every time I say that, it feels good. It feels like a lightning on my shoulders. But I really do. I think it's over, right? Yeah, it was really awful. It was really genuinely awful. Philip Bogart, how you doing, Philip? Thank you for joining us. So yeah, that's happening. I think a lot's going down, baby. I think a lot's going down. All those Rushkies, what says Philip, I don't know what they've been doing today. I actually haven't even looked at the news. I think Disney deals purely for broadcast reach. That's what I think too. However, I think Russell has sold it so it fits squarely into the Disney ideal, right? What Disney wants, right? So that again, I think Shooter's casting was canny for that, right? And that okay. Here's the thing: he's somewhat woke himself, right? That is very, very true. But also, he knows how to sell things, and he knows who it has to sell it to. He knew he had to sell it to Disney as well as us, right? That I think, and you know, that is what I think. That's what I think is going on. And again, I'm putting a lot of trust in him, but he hasn't let us down yet, mate. Right? He hasn't let us down yet, and it seems logical. But again, look. I could be horribly wrong. Let's be 100% clear. Everything Disney has touched has turned to shit. Right? Let's not discount that. But I don't know. All signs right now, no negative signs. Right? I mean, other than. I don't want to say it, but Yasmin Finn's casting does seem a bit gimmicky, right? But again, I think gimmicky or canny. And again, can she bring it? I think probably. That's the bottom line. I don't think Russell can produce shit. Right? That's the thing. I don't think he can do it. Maybe. I haven't seen it yet. Closely came to producing unhinged shit was years and years. Right, but I mean, okay, think about this. How skilled a writer do you need to be to move a Bible-thumping creationist rabbi, such as myself, over tales of same-sex romance, right? It's I view people as people, right? But again, it should be antithetical to my worldview. But because he's able to paint the humanity in people, right? And that's his strength, right? So if he wants to represent a marginalized group, they will be as people. They will be as characters, which for me is fine, right? It's like, as long as it's not like, Star Trek Discovery where it's all women, right? Who are all the same bland character. I mean, that's essentially my problem with Star. It's and I don't think he'll do that. I just don't think he'll do it. But I think he knows how to sell it to Disney Plus. right? And I think he sold it to them as the next Harry Potter, right? That's basically that's what they're all chasing. And this is what they put their chips down on. They put their chips down on it being the next Harry Potter, the next whatever, next Star Wars, right? This could absolutely rival Star Wars. Cinema's dead. You got to remember that. Cinema is dead. No one's everything the MCU puts out is failed, right? Star Wars hasn't put a movie out for a reason. Cinema is dead. Right, the money men want streaming. This is why Doctor Who was such a desirable brand. Like I'm actually seeing it. Like now, the more we learn, right, the more we learn, the more I see the brilliance of this. Right, so I'm really very optimistic. Honestly, I think we're going to get a very good Doctor Who. I mean, bottom line, I think we're going to get good, scary Doctor Who, which is what that logo means to me, right? That's also scary. Like, like the Hinchcliffe Home scary, right? Or like, okay, another great expression of scary for, for that time. Not Doctor Who, but Sapphire and Steel. Do you remember there's this weird house from the future on top of a block of flats, and there's Steel is on the outside and it's invisible, right? And the people inside know it's coming, and there's like do this thing. And the pillow gets up and starts floating. And it goes down the hall. It's heading to Still. Dun, 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 dun. And then a swan, I think, flies in. But like that was scary. That pillow floating down the bloody hallway. That was fucking terrifying, right? That's the scary I think he wants to bring, right? I don't think he wants to go, you can wreck planets or you can save them. I don't think he wants to do that. One hopes not anyway. Mr. Jekyll and Hyde, I forgot I was doing the chat. Mr. Jekyll and Hyde is a Mr. Jekyll and Hyde. I think I said hello to you, but you know what? You can't say hello too often, right? You cannot say hello too often. Who else? We got Karamazov. I should be able to say that quicker now. Bernard Sumner is one of the great, but goes into trans history in interviews for no real. Well, it's because it's what's in their heads all the time. Right, I got to finish the third Doctor one now. I'm really into that one. The garden is trying to make itself immune to parity by being beyond parity itself. That's exactly true. Right? That's exactly bloody true. But the figure's here. Andor goes to IKEA. That's what it's like. It's so fucking boring. Oh, God, it's so boring. Why? Just like and like now, and the last episode 9, which we're not covering tonight, is about him being bored. I mean, really, a boring show about him being bored. Fuck off, leave me alone. So this is what I think is the new iteration of entertainment, right? They're not giving up on their messaging, but they are. I think they understand they need to keep several things. They need to get the quality up. But from what they said about the Doctor Who one is they've been very, very insistent on saying they got to keep authentic to what it is, right? Because I think they've learned by changing it kills it, right? They want it to be Doctor Who, which is why I think this is such a very, very, very attractive deal, right? TV Saps, I think there's a technical name for it. There's Mr. Jekyll and Hyde. That is indeed true. I hope Movement don't go down. I like a lot they're not doing so. Me too, but they're going down. they're going down. I'm sorry, they just are. They're too small. I mean, hopefully, I think Battle buys them. That's what and everybody walks away very well from it, right? Charles, but if Disney do it, we will get series about Spaceballs characters in Orphan 54, a Frog Universe spin-off, backstory of Benny, and God knows what. Well, I don't if they're in charge of making the content. Disney, okay, the Disney investor, again, the suits, the money men, they have learned they suck at making TV shows. But they've also learned other people can be very good at it. They know that Sony knows how to make Spider-Man. Well, as they know that the MCU has failed. They know the metrics. I spoke to people inside the BBC. They know it's failed. They know Doctor Who's failed, and they freaked out. Right? They know it's failed, and they're very, very, very distressed about it. Right? They're not going to say it, but they know it. The rumor I heard is that Chris General did not get his contract renewed. He was supposed to go for 5 years, but he didn't get his contract renewed. Right? And this has all been a face-saving maneuver. And frankly, I have to tell you, it made for the best work he's done in Doctor Who. I mean, again, he was saddled with the miscasting of Whittaker, but what can you do? You know, you can't get by that. At least Colin Baker could change his bloody jacket for a blue one. You know, but you can't. I don't know. You just can't get by Whittaker's awful performance, awful tone deaf performance, right? I think that's a fair critique. Awful tone deaf performance. Fine. Let me get back to the chat. Get rid of the love of stories. Yeah, it's too cringe, right? It really is very cringe. Yeah. I might be wrong, but look, I'll read out the messages I got. Okay. Cowgirls Crash Wheels here. Hi everybody. Not enthused about RTD. Freaking Disney. Again, I think it's analogous to the movie Joker, right? The movie Joker, they made a movie about mental health using the prism of a superhero movie, right? They made the movie they wanted to by giving the studio what they wanted, right? I think that's the analogy we're getting for Doctor Who. I think it's going to be good Doctor Who. I mean, bottom line, I think it's going to be this. This is such a huge good deal for everybody at the BBC. But yeah, no, look, they freaked out. For all of them saying, "Oh, it's the greatest ever," they were lying, right? They lie a lot. I didn't really thought. Icky thump! They're calling me the power of the Doctor incomprehensible drivel. I don't know what that means, but it sounds good. Yes, just don't tell her, okay? Says David. Ken's this boring piece of shit. And already no. Go to episode 12 or something. Fuck off. It's so awful. Brother Big is here. How you doing, mate? Listening in the background. Well, there you go. I like to feel your elevator, baby. I like to see more unsettling monsters in Doctor Who. I imagine the sentient maze containing Lovecraft. Oh, near sentient creature picking up. Well, that picking on people one by one. Well, that's what we would have got with Toby Whithouse Doctor Who, right? Toby Whithouse did what was it the God? What was it again? The Matt Smith one where they're in the 80s hotel. He did a lot of good ones. Toby Whithouse. Solid writer. He should have been showrunner. Like he just came off being human. He should have been showrunner. So, but he was obviously in the running. But his vision was, Christian Moynihan said, "I want to be woke as fuck," and they're like, "Oh fuck me, so do we," right? I would advise people to be cautious about RTD 2.0's admission of Jekyll and Hyde. Personally, I don't get hopes too high yet. I tell you, until I start seeing things that look like shit, I will. I'm reasonably excited. Colin Archer asks, I have heard that people say that Andor is perhaps the best thing Star Wars has done since Mandalorian, but Disney has done so much damage. Yeah, no, it's not getting views anyway. Exactly. It's like the later Chibnall stuff. Again, the quality of Flux, the specials, and Flux and the specials were a million times better than his first or second season, right? The quality, like his first season was dire, right? The quality is so, and the first one they said was the greatest thing ever. Oh, it's so wonderful. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so stunning. Oh, it's so fucking brave, right? And then by the time he got to stuff where it was slightly marginally less shit. It was close to being good. It was good in places. They're like, fuck off, you evil, you hurt Jodie. All right? It's just, it's not fair. It's not fair. Tomorrow people are great as well. I agree with you. But again, the real problem with Andor is it's boring as hell. Right? It's just boring. It's that's his greatest sin, I think. That it being boring. Fine. So let's look at this article first. Where was it? Actually, yeah, beforehand, let me look at Bounding Comics. I haven't looked at the news yet. Bounding into comics. See if there's any new news. We'll get my live reactions. And we're going to live. But is there any news about Red Dwarf? Have you heard anything about that? Got to look at Red Dwarf in a minute. Fine. So, interview. Author Megan Fox recalls conservatives surrendering Hollywood and how woke brainwashing now infects our entertainment. Well, okay. I don't know who Megan Fox is. The only Megan Fox I know is like the super, super hot one. Gotham Knights not interested. I'm not a gamer. DC scooper Grace Randall calls Superman actor Henry Cavill's post Black Adam Instagram video. Hype says The Flash is his only upcoming film. Yeah, but they clearly want to bring him into the fold, right? They look. They've taken stock of what they have, and they go, "Oh, he works," right? You'd have to be insane in today's film market, in today's movie market, to flush away an asset like Henry Cavill, like somebody who, he's as close to somebody will get an audience, right? You would have to be insane. Biden's FBI tyranny. Biden's FBI investigates director of Nick Search's January 6th documentary. Yeah, listen. Honestly, the JFK assassination is much clearer, right? And less questionable than January 6th. But I'm not even going to get to it because obviously, I agree with whatever our YouTube overlord says okay to agree with. Obviously, I do, right? Obviously. Look, if I'm on Twitter, people can say awful things like only women can have babies, right? That's on Twitter. How dare they? Here, they could say, they can only say the truth. Insane, you say. Have you seen current entertainment? It is insane. It's awful, right? But I think, again, the James Gunn announcement is huge. I think what's going on at DC is huge. I think David Zaslav is huge, right? I think the times are changing, right? I may be like a battered housewife, right? Go, yeah, maybe he'll be good this time, right? I may be, and it's not an instant victory, but I see the sands shifting. And I think Doctor Who is part of the sands shifting, right? But current entertainment, yeah, it's generally speaking. It was garbage unless you're saying I like, then they cancelled it, right? I really like Raised by Wolves. I recommend, even though you only get the 2 seasons. I just realized I misspelled the title of the stream. Live at 5:30. Well, I don't know, some kind of Irish version of it. Anyway, where was I? I digress. Have I seen it? Yeah, listen, it's not been good, but I think the ship's turning around. However, we see things like why is Batwoman become the multiverse, the dark multiverse villain, Red Death in its fight? Okay, who gives a shit? Leave me alone. New Direct Comic discuss readers with Vulcan lecture on crew on gender panel. Fuck off. How many of those are you going to sell? 7? Please. Oh, fuck off. Susan Sarandon issues similar warning against growing political divisions as Gina Carano faces no consequence. Well, obviously not. She's on the right team. Disney short film helps plus-size girls feel good about dancing and diabetes. How about stop eating cake, you dumb cunt? Okay? And I say that as a fat person. Just try stop eating cake for a bit. Maybe just don't do everything you want. And some girls are bigger than others. It's okay. So we talk about Doctor Who a lot. We're going to talk about it a bit more. Rumors: Star Wars Eclipse to introduce female protagonist described as a fanatical supporter of Alien's own empire. Okay, whatever. Clayface coming to DCEU. Okay. I love this. Billy Eichler's Bros is officially Universal's lowest performing rom-com. Yeah, that highly performing thing of rom-coms of 2022. YouTuber Ninja Knight. I like old Ninja Knight. Constantly argue that Black Adam has a woke agenda. Oh, bro, I'm waiting till it's on streaming. Right? When it's on streaming, I will watch it. Oh, shit. Wakanda Forever is going to crash and burn. It doesn't have a hope. Social justice activists say white people must skip Black Panther Wakanda Forever on opening weekend to do anything other than this is anti-black. Fine. I won't go and see it at all. That's how pro-black I am, right? That's how super pro-black I am. YouTube, okay, whoever. Lucasfilm and Walt Disney Company accused of using bots to defend Star Wars. Obviously, they do, right? All right, they obviously do that. Fine, okay. I think I'm done with all this. No, they want him in. They want him being Superman. Fine, let's have a quick read of this article, and then we'll look at some reviews. Doctor Who get an American makeover as Disney takes on British classic. Entertainment conglomerates will give the show's vast budgets beyond BBC's means. See, I thought that was already coming from Sony. It could be because now they've got such a huge distribution network that Sony could release a lot more funds. It seems, honestly, it seems to me that Disney, Sony, and BBC have conspired to make Doctor Who huge. Doctor Who is set to be regenerated by Disney as the US corporation is allowed to give the classic BBC series a Hollywood makeover. Well, let's see what that means. Began in '63, cult following, blah, blah, blah. Obviously mocked for their less threatening appearance. They say they look crap when it was young. When it was older, American corporation will have saying created a decision of Doctor Who under the terms of co-production deal made with the BBC over this long-running series. Now, I want to see some citation for that. How do we know this? Showrunner Rossi Davis will retain overall creative vision for the program, but it's understood the corporate might of Disney will give the show vast budgets beyond BBC means, allowing for more cinematic production values and more stars. Charlotte Moore, Chief Content Officer, said, "We're thrilled to announce this exciting global." Right, this is the video we want. This is global. Fine. This is just reporting on the same video I did. The exciting global partnership with Disney, who are the perfect partners to bring the very British show. Yeah, they keep calling it a very British show to the rest of the world. They want to keep this. They want to keep it Harry Potter. That's what's going on. Let's have a look at Doctor Who news. Well, again, I cover this tomorrow. We haven't got the week ratings yet. No, a second. Let's see what's going on. See this. Okay, the YouTube thing's really messing me up. It's on the StreamYard. It's got a little clock saying how long you've been on for. And I've been on for 53 minutes, but it's saying I've been on for 1 hour 53 minutes. So I keep going, I better wrap up. I'm nearly done. What's going on? Every modern Doctor Who is ranked from so, no, we should look at this season survey. Okay, let's look at this review. That looks fair. Doctor Who Take 2. I want to be kind to it, really. Right, they're all picking up on the Telegraph story right now, which is basically the video that we watched, right? I want to have the Bleeding Cool take on it. They sometimes have a bit of inside information. Can't wait to see Devil's Hour. I got that on my to watch list. The Power of Doctor Show's biggest. Let's have a look at that. I might make that into a video. You know what? I want to look at Radio Times because they have the poll of the season poll. Where is it? Radio Times. There you go. Hasn't come up yet. Is this ready to go? Let's see if I agree with this, right? Okay. Second opinion. Now, I think I worked out the plot of this story, okay? Here's the plot of The Power of the Doctor, okay? In a nutshell, as I can recall. Starts off, there's a super fast train that's carrying a very important cargo, and it's being stolen by the Cybermen, who are able to regenerate. The Doctor flies in to save everyone, to save them, but fails. And the Cybermen get away with the cargo, who's a little black girl, who then turns out to be a giant. Oh no, not yet. We're not up there yet. They're fine. They're black. They then drop Dan off, and he's like, "You nearly killed me that time on that thing. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go." So Dan leaves, running for his life back to his career. Hopefully he survives. Yeah, he'll be fine. And they go to they trace the girl, and it's in a new planet. That's new little planetoid that's orbiting the Earth in 1916 or 1860 or somewhere, and the master is Rasputin. It's somehow connected, and the little girl is actually a giant ball of glowing energy and things, so a super alien that they use to power. They're using to power whatever they're doing, and the Daleks are working with them to make. I'm fine. I've lost it. Okay, I can't. Let's see what they have to say. Okay, that's as far as I tried. I did my best. And so another era comes to the end. To be honest, it's not exactly I'm not exactly upset about it. No one is, darling. In fact, this was the first time during a whole revival era I've actually been very, very happy to move on, especially after the cliffhanger. More on that later. But I'm frustrated it took the BBC so long to realize this era wasn't working. Yeah, that's fair, right? I mean, look, again, the problem is this is just exactly what they wanted. You know, it's not that Chibnall didn't deliver what they wanted. Chibnall delivered exactly what they wanted, right? And it failed horribly, right? There we are. The Power of the Dark is another classic Chibnall episode. Well, I'm not sure if that's a praise or not. Chibnall, and by classic I mean it has plenty of good ideas here and there, but also features all the writing flaws that plagued the era. I don't think this did have good ideas. I agree with you, and they've had a few good ideas during Flux. And the central idea of even the Daleks was good, right? And the turning into a weeping angel cliffhanger was good. There's a few good ideas. There's a lot of bad ones, right? There's a lot of bad ones, and it's never strung together well, right? But you know, I would say for the majority of the time, this writing's been atrocious, right? Like genuinely amateurishly atrocious. First two seasons were they're awful. There's no other way of explaining it. They're just awful. It's bombastic, noisy, zips all over the place, and give you no time to process anything. Overstuffed with characters and features and incoherent plot. Fair, yeah, I agree with all the above. I agree with all that, right? Granted, the exhibition wasn't quite as bad for once, but it's a minor whim, and this is a good review. The difference this time is there's a hell of a lot of nostalgia and an attempt to distract you from the said flaws, which admittedly works, and is rather ironic, considering how the Chibnall started his era. Okay. I'll say it again. The difference this time is there's a hell of a lot of nostalgia and attempt to distract you from the said flaws, which admittedly works. Yes, I agree with that. Sorry, I spaced out on that. Rather ironic considering how it started. After all, who wouldn't be happy to see returning classic Doctors and companions, especially ones who were denied a proper anniversary appearance a decade ago? That's fair enough. Yes, we want a bit. Following the ropey pre-title sequence, seriously, what happened to CGI? I thought that looked good. I gave that props. Okay, I gave it props. It was better than She-Hulk. Man, I can't believe how many people like She-Hulk. Oh, it blows my mind. Normies like She-Hulk. It's just one of the horrible injustices of the world. Dan said off at the start was probably the only moment where I was legitimately surprised at how soon and how serious it was. It was really Puccio flew back home. It really was. Either John Bishop was too busy or Chibnall felt like he had so many things going on. He didn't know how to incorporate that. Well, yeah. I mean, he had Tegan and Ace. I mean, they were a big chunk of it into the story and give him something to do, meaningful to do. But really, Dan has felt like for the most of his episodes, following his introduction. It makes you wonder why Chibnall even bothered to bring in a new companion so late when it was all it amounted. Really, that's true. It could have just been the Doctor and Yaz. I mean, like excruciating it sound, but like it's what they wanted, right? It's what all the weirdos wanted, and it wouldn't have been any worse, right? I don't know. Maybe meet Jellicoe at the beginning, right? He was good. Again, occasionally it worked out. What we have to the end of Yaz's story was only marginally better, at least in terms of on screen time. It's interesting how for all the production team talk about the last couple of specials, Thasman was absolutely nowhere. Yeah, well, they just wanted it for the cocktail parties. I believe the term is quietly called queer baiting. Oh wow, it's called queer baiting. As I predicted, it would end this way. I mean, 13 just says bye, and Yaz goes on her way. End of story. What a satisfying, heartfelt 3-episode arc. No, but look, why don't anybody care about Yaz anyway? When Tegan and Ace are back on screen, that's exactly the truth, right? I thought out of the duo, Sophie Aldred got the best moments. Well, she did the best work. Although obviously I'm a big Ace fan. I also enjoyed the callbacks. Nitro 9, baseball bat, Daleks, all that was good. I agree with it. Didn't make sense. It was bonkers. It was stupid, but it was all fun, right? And something we really missed from Doctor Who. The Ace's scene with Seven was easily my the highlight of the entire episode. I thought the Tegan with 5 was best, right? And now you generally a heartfelt moment, and Tegan with 5 wasn't bad either. Chibnall, why couldn't you have done scenes like that with the main cast? It wasn't the writing; it was the performance. Okay. You are hampered by a terrible, terrible leading actor and co-star for that matter. Yes, bringing back the classic Doctors was always going to be a big crowd pleaser, but I thought all of them did a sterling job. I agree. Apparently, that was only Paul McGann's head, right? He wasn't available to shoot, so he only got his head on green screen, and the rest was somebody else's body. Right, which may be why he wasn't in robes. I don't know. No, it can't be. I thought they all did a stunning job, but it was only further highlighting the gulf between the past Doctors and Jodie Incarnation. Listen, mate, and this is a good review. Every time Jodie came back on screen, my friends who I was watching it with were all like yelling, "No, give us McGann, McCoy!" Exactly, not a good sign. Onto the plot. I really like the idea of Doctor focusing on Rasputin. It was only done to do the Boney M song. That was the entirety of the reason of Rasputin. To do the Boney M song. No other reason, right? No other reason at all. This being appearing in Russian history, I've only ever felt interested since I've first studied this called Mad Block. It's good fodder for Doctor Who. Ends up being almost completely ignored and superfluous to anything. It's true. I'm actually annoyed Christian will use up what could have been a great focused historical episode on its own. Why the Master was even posing just for fun. To get control of the Tsar's palace for some reason. So they could do that's what you could use as a base to false regenerate Jodie. Okay. Oh, didn't mean to do that. It's like okay. The Daleks and Cybermen, their appearance here was very disappointing. Thought the Cybermen weren't bad. I mean, again, made that is so stupid. I cloned you, and how they're bad. It was really genuinely like a Curse of the Fatal Death. Oh, I'll tell you later. I'll explain later. I mean, The fear and the threat level has completely evaporated from this pair of monsters at this point. Later, they're literally just standing around doing nothing as the master goes talks through his evil plan. I would have liked to have seen how the slides came to be. I agree with you. Even the scene showing the Daleks planning to dispatch the master once they've got the Doctor would have helped. Yes, here's the trouble. You can only improve a Chibnall script. I mean, that's just you can only improve a Chibnall script. You can't make them any bloody worse. It's incredible. I mean, like, and God bless you. I'm just sorry you're so shit at this. I mean, genuinely, I am. I'm sorry you're so shit at this. About to. Now lost in place. Okay, 1 second. The only interesting element was the Dalek Trader, but it wasn't developed enough. Like Rasputin, it could have served as a good episode in its own right. That's always true. Like, he just doesn't know. He has a few good ideas, doesn't know what to do with them. Meanwhile, the Cybermen still can't aim for anything, and again shoot down straight corridors and shafts, and still find the way to miss the shots. I also want to know how Cybermen that have the power to regenerate can also be so boringly used. And don't get me started on the goofy design. I quite like it. I mean, I like the cyber design in general. What's the point of bringing back Eshtad exactly? None at all. He's barely in it, adds so little. I mean, again, very true. He was interesting as debut episode because he was written with some complexity, but here's reduced to a stock enemy leader. He's basically cyber leader. That's exactly who he is. I really hope Russell David reinvents both these monsters and gives us another Dalek, reminding fans why these monsters are scary. Yeah, exactly. Now back to the Master. I know some fans don't like this manic portrayal. I haven't liked it thus far. I thought it was good in this one, but Sachuan actually has a strong screen presence and choose the scenery with such relish. I find it hard not to be entertained by him. Very true. I strongly agree. I very much strongly agree with that. But maybe that says more about the bland cast that was sharing scenes with him. No, he was really genuinely fun, right? It wasn't for if it wasn't for the returning classics, he would have completely stolen the episode. That's very true. The big problem is it's so evident the timeless children though that Jodie is sidelined in favor of the Master when she wasn't being sidelined by classic Doctors and companions. Exactly. Dwan always gets the Doctor sort of even gets to be the Doctor sort of, while Jodie occasionally cameos as a hologram version. This isn't great for what's meant to be her last hurrah, the 13th Doctor. But really, it feels like Jodie was done dirty through the entire tenure. No, she just didn't know how to act. Right? I'm still convinced that she was the right pick for her. I'm convinced that she wasn't. But with stronger writing, surely she could have been better than this. Well, look, it's been a perfect storm of awful, right? It's been an absolute, terrible writing, terrible. Why? It all comes from Chibnall, I guess, but this is what the BBC wanted. I guess he couldn't deliver. One day when she moves to Big Finish, don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. If Big Finish are going down, we'll do that story after with another couple of reviews. Big Finish are going down. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. Did the clocks change? Now I just don't know what the time is at all. My computer clock says 8:40. My clock says 7:40. I'm so freaking confused. Okay, so I've been online. This says I've been online for 2 hours 10 minutes. I know I started at 7:30 my time, right? So it must be 1 hour and 10 minutes because that's wrong. So I've started at 7, so it must be 8:40. Okay, that's right. Oh, head in. So it's 6:40 in the UK. Okay, I'm working this out. Oh, it's doing my head in, mate. Where am I up to? But you see, anything's more interesting than reading about jokes. Yeah, don't hold your breath for a big finish. As for a final speech, I shouldn't be surprised when it was just so lackluster. Yes, especially when you compare it to the previous New Who's. The blossomest blossom. Is that what, I can't even remember what she said. It was so bloody bland. But yeah, that's Chibnall, mate. He can't bloody write. Should have given it to Paul Cornell, right? You should have swallowed some of that bloody pride and given it to a sorting writer. You know, I'm sorry, mate. I hope Murray Gold turned down Russell Davis' show because he wanted to return to Doctor Who. I think it's going to be good, mate. I think it's going to be good. But yeah, who knows? So Jodie Whittaker's era, I'm not even sure if she had a true Doctor moment. No, she didn't. One that made me think, oh, now that's the Doctor. Equally, what was her Doctor about? Where was her character about? What was her story arc? Well, it all seemed to be a timeless show, but Chibnall completely gave up on that. He was told to by the BBC. I'm actually glad, but at the point, but what was the point of it all? After almost 60 years of canon retconning for nothing, not to mention causing exodus of fans, was it all worth it, Chibnall? Well, he thought it was going to be better than it was, right? He didn't know it was going to work. It's like the Democrats. They didn't know it was going to be so bad. Like nobody was going to work out this badly. Jodie regenerating Tennant would have been a truly gold-staffing moment if it hadn't been a rumor. We all knew it was happening. I know this is a day and age where Cuban Seekers, especially with Tennant, out of it would have been next to impossible. But still, it was described as a shock in the press to be and there's ability. I don't know why they said it was a shock. When the show falls, who are you going to call? David Tennant? Am I excited though? Hell yeah, Russell Davis has one last shot to bring Doctor Who back to his glory. Yes, he does. That's the other thing I like about this. This is like, yeah, this is really the last chance saloon, right? We are. If this doesn't work out, with Doctor Who's gone, right? It's over. It's not over already. Is a miracle, an absolute miracle. I'm not exaggerating. Overall, let's hope so. Hope some valuable lesson has been learned from the failures this era. I hope so too. Overall, Power Doctor is a messy, unfitting finale for Jodie Whittaker's frequently disappointing Doctor, but it has several nostalgic moments that redeemed it somewhat. Aside, Vinder in this one, wasn't he? Whoops, a forgettable character was forgotten. Yes, absolutely. And there's Graham too. How did he get in the volcano? How? Why? I liked the interaction with Sophie though. Look, the future Doctor. Meh. And it wasn't at all. How did Tegan survive the fall down elevator shaft? Who cares? So we actually saw planets, more planets than just Earth. Well, I guess all that's left over in the universe ending baggage from Flux was completely northern. Yes. Chibnall mined whilst writing the sound of the sound of drums, the stolen Earth, Journey's End and End of Time. Yes. As much as I like the companion support group scene, it was short. Ian was probably his last scene ever. His last scene ever gets one line, as does Joe. Again, in a good concept for an episode that is wasted. Power Doctor safe by the stairs. See, that's a positive review. Sod me. All right. Let's have a look at this one. Doink. Jodie Whittaker's era. Doctor Who ends Jodie Whittaker with an infuriating mess. Okay, I guess they're not pro then, is my guess. See, I'm being positive. Man, I'm being positive. Power of the Doctor goes all in for fan service to bid Jodie Whittaker's Doctor adieu, but not before returning to another muddled mess of television. Fair. I'm being so nice to him, though. The era of the 13th Doctor is over, but it went out how much ultimately Christian was time of Doctor Who's showrunner went over the last 4 years, with moments of brilliance, moments of okayness, outshone by plodding, unwieldy mess and narratives that threatened to drag its excellent start. She wasn't down with it in a way that perhaps is fitting if an unjust one. Okay. Power of the final outing of Jodie Whittaker's 13th Doctor and Trish Kimball's run of Doctor Who is like a lot of the duo's recent episodes in time and space. A difficult piece of television to write about. Well, difficult for you because you lied your ass off for years. Endings are hard, especially Doctor Who ones, and the mythical, where a mythical process of the Time Lord regeneration, but all guarantee, all but guarantees that no matter how strong the adventure is before it, the end will be overshadowed by the new beginning that comes immediately after it. Okay. Well, no, that's not true. Let's go through them. I think there's adventure before. Okay, I think Twice Upon a Time Lord or Twice Upon a Time, whatever it's called. The comparative finale, that was a very strong episode. I think the strongest part of the Matt Smith's finale was the regeneration. I think the end of time was a strong episode, but its strongest part was the regeneration. That's fair. So then we go into that's from Christopher Eccleston. Christopher Eccleston, that was a strong episode, right? I like that episode. I think that's the regeneration was a bit of a shock. Okay. So then it's but yeah, McCann doesn't really count. So Sylvester McCoy, his regeneration, that was the new beginning. There was no end, right? So the last one the one before that would have been Peter Davidson and Colin Baker. Well, no, Case of Androzani, far stronger. That story was not overshadowed by the regeneration, right? Definitely not overshadowed by the regeneration. Logopolis was about the regeneration. Planet of Spiders was just them having fun. That wasn't about the regeneration. And I think that overshadowed the story as well, right? The main point was the regeneration. That's Planet of Spiders. So then we got War Games was about kind of the regeneration tacked on at the end. You didn't really get the new beginning. That was supposed to be in the Doctor Who. And 10th Planet, a strong bloody story, mate. Strong story. I hate to tell you. Regeneration felt kind of tacked on. So I'm not sure you're right about that. Okay. We've gone through them. We've analyzed them. Fine. They're even harder in Doctor Who's revived era, where the exit of the Doctor and the arrival of another has once in a while also coincided with the show's flagship creative steward turning the story not at the end of the Doctor's incarnation, but their treatise of the entire period of Doctor Who. Okay. All this and more hangs heavily on the shoulders of the Power of the Doctor. What an awful title, right? An end capsule to the multiple period in Doctor Who, already heavily shadowed by the bananas potential, the return of the faces that have long been heralded in the future before we reach the end. Oh, man. Jeez, this is just like, he thinks he's writing bloody Shakespeare, this guy. Calm down. Okay. There are a few finales that could bloody fly. I get this like fruit fly. It makes me crazy. There are a few finales that could navigate the complex nuanced weirdness of the current state of Doctor Who and come out largely immaculate. Current Doctor Who is terrible. The fatal problem of the Power of the Doctor is that the vast majority of the burdensome 90-minute spend time doesn't even try, flinging cameos, story threads, and scenes at the wall, desperately praying that one will stick. For the most part, they don't. Oof. I'm so much nicer. Okay. To attempt to make what happens in Power of the Doctor narratively is an exercise in futility. Well, I started at the beginning. Right. Which is presumably why the apex of the mess, a moment when the Master returned by a saturated is now given up any attempt at menacing like all Masters before him, because every piece of scenery and imaginable BBC budget sets the stage for a zany attempt to force the Doctor to regenerate into himself, breaking out into an extended dance sequence. The Boneyans classics Rappy did. I've had it in my head non-stop. I like that bit. It's heralded by the Master's attempt to explain the preceding 45 minutes episode. It happened to the Doctor. The 45 minutes of the episode had happened to the Doctor and the audience. Right. I liked it. Okay. That gave me a bit of a breather, quite frankly. The train flying through space, invaded by Cybermen, barely arrived. Barely arrived companion Dan exits rapidly through a series of exiting the series with little in the way of emotional payoff. A renegade Dalek invading Earth, a planet orbit made out of Cyberman stuff, unit, and not one but two return companions, Janet Fielding and Sophie Aldred, as fifth Doctor Companions, Tegan Chavanka, and seventh Doctor Companion Ace, respectively. Missing painting seismologist, I forgot about that. And the Master pretended to be Gregory Rasputin. Oh, was he Rasputin? We don't know, right? We don't know. In the early 20th century in Siberia, all of these things unfold into an incoherent manner as possible. Chibnall's fondness for title cards and locations and years on them attempt to manufacture a scale without actually showing scale. Okay, I guess, but geez, man, they are savaging this guy. Bloody hell. Okay. Like, once I'm defending Chris Chibnall, they're savaging him. Right? Yeah, that makes sense. Once I'm defending him, they are savaging him. All these things unfold in a manner as possible. Chibnall's fondness, blah, 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 scale. Its own natural fondness for plot threads that barely flow into one another. As the Doctor and Yaz across time and space try and figure out what's going on, dragging the audience along with them. Scenes barely cohere from one to the next, and characters figure out things by actually and characters figure things out not actually by working things out by clues, but by simply loudly stating what's meant to happen. Or is that a process happening? Okay. And none of these 7 different plots threads, I forgot how many were, get any time to develop because they're flipping between them in such rapid muddled pace. Well, again, Chibnall's worked out if you slow down, you notice that he's shit, right? His real only hope is this speed, because otherwise you notice. And again, I'm defending Chibnall, poor bastard. Man, they're getting the boot in there. Nothing lands emotionally despite fucking hell. Despite the fact we're constantly shouted at, these things are all dire, and the Doctor is facing her toughest battle yet. Whittaker barely gets to put on her strength. She doesn't have any, as she's shuffled between being flummoxed by each newly introduced plot. Well, that's fair enough. I mean, but again, that's her Doctor. Each new hero plot thread. No time is spent developing these kernel ideas, which standalone or in much smaller doses might be an interesting episode in themselves, but not here. So nothing ever feels exciting or satisfying. They then all fall apart in the aforementioned scene where the Master simply explains it before his dance sequence. Right? Yeah, he does. Sasha does it well, though. Right? That everything was his idea. Why? Because he said so. And again, there's no satisfaction for the audience here. There was a grand puzzle you could have conceivably put together before the Master reveals his plan. No. As well, master plan. Well, again, I like the line. I'll call it my the Master's Dalek plan, because nothing is given time to make any sense. What does it matter? The Master did it, so what? God, how long is this? Oh dear. Fine. Oh, there's a lot of savaging we got coming. This all might sound like a describe to reveal the impending false massification of the Doctor, but it turned out that the point where It turned out the point where scroll so what I went in the wrong place. Where did it? Where the power of the Doctor might get good, but alas, it just keeps adding more plot threads. The Master's goal to become the Doctor and seemingly kill their regenerative line in the process, so he can slander the Doctor's name across space and time. The unit stuff with Tegan and Ace and Tegan. Now that Cyberman's invasion just one building on Earth, led by the last Cyberman Ashdad for a few seasons. From a few seasons ago, he got better clone. He got better cloned by the Master. Don't worry about it because the power of the Doctor certainly doesn't. After stating this, remember Vinder from last year's terrible season flux. Fucking hell. He's also there on the cyber planet because it turned out there's a child. Oh, what about him being pregnant and all that? Because it turns out the child of the Cyberman kidnapped on the train 45 minutes ago was actually a sentient energy powering it. Meanwhile, the 13th Doctor is shunted to the edge of eternity. Don't remember that. The limbo of... Oh, yeah. All Time Lords apparently walked through during the regeneration, and she has a chat with a facsimile of her first 5, 6, 7, and 8 incarnations. The first of plenty wild random cameos from Doctor's past. She showing up also side sentient AI TARDIS as to the abandoned Yaz as implanted holograms for Tegan and Ace. They're shunted separately. Potlines to stop the Daleks and Cyber threats. Oh, my head's exploding. My head is exploding. Once again, all these threads might make for a compelling Doctor Who episode, but there are ideas here for a brief moment. Muddling may shine with brilliant potential and just make larger messiness more frustrating. The idea of a limbo for Doctors where their past selves, so horrified by the Master's vandalization of regeneration, came pulled together to pull the 13th back from the brink. It's a wonderful bridge across so many eras of the show. Ripped right off from, was it Time Wire and Revelation by Paul Cornell. Why not just get him to write it if you're going to rip him off? Right? But yeah, I thought they were fine. They were good. Giving Janet Fielding so far did 2 actors whose companions unjustly exited the show a chance for a final scene with their Doctors, and gives Tegan and Ace a chance to heal their frayed friendship with the Doctor. Delivers 2 incredible poignant moments in the episode, despite the episode desperate. Delivers 2 incredibly poignant moments in an episode of desperate need for them. There you go. Even when they say they're not saying something nice, it's like, oh man, okay. This goes. I can't. Okay, I get it. You didn't like it, right? Let's see if we can find something positive. Here's one from the Independent. The Independent should be on board. Let's see if they got. Really? It's just been a bit savaging. Jodie Whittaker meets classic Doctors, including Peter David, Conor Bacon, last episode. Whittaker's last episode aired on Sunday. Okay, I'll try later. There you go. Let's see what they have to say. Jodie Whittaker's final episode features a surprise cameo. Well, wasn't that much of a surprise. Let's be fair. It was like, we all kind of knew it was coming. Surprise cameo. Oh, man, there's so many. How to get rid of that? There you go. There's cameos from a number of blah, blah, blah. But where's the review? They're just telling them where they were in it. Paul McGann. This is not a review. David Tennant, Kent Dorsey, David Sick. I thought this was a review. This was just like, here, we'll do Jodie Whittaker. Someone's got to say something like not awful about this. Doctor Who fans rallied around Jodie Whittaker's. Jodie Whittaker names the actor she. No. Is this a review? Dishonest accuser risking viewers' lives. Okay, no, that's a thing about the Durdle arch thing. It's a weird story. Fine, let's try the Guardian. Come on, Guardian's got something nice to say. I could try that. Yes, let's see how they pull this out. Come on in. There you go. Finale as it happened. Well, just tell me the review. No. The blossom is good night from me. Okay, oh no, this is a live. Oh, Jesus. Really? Fine. Let's try this one over here. Slash film. Oh, I think I found the review in the Guardian. We'll try that. We'll do slash film next. Oh. Like, can we just not have a puff piece, but actually a review? This is a review roundup. I've done 2. There you go. Power of the Doctor is Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who run as it began as a disappointment. Best way to describe Christian and Jodie Whittaker's era of Doctor Who is stuff happened. And a sententious of the Power of the Doctor, which served Whittaker's 13th Doctor swan song, stuff certainly happened. Was any of that stuff emotionally, narratively, thematically resonant? Well, that's another story. Jodie was putting out fires. Oh, man. Quick goodbyes, awkward reunions, master plan. One thing I say, Zeta was more than John Sims' leftovers. A fantastic actor. Again, wow. Man, everyone's a critic. Everyone's a critic. Come, I think I found the Guardian review. This one might be good. Oh, there you go. Gets 4 out of 5. Thank you. Okay, well, if the person didn't look quite so emotionally stunted, would be a stronger review. Doctor Who review. Jodie Whittaker bows out with big bangs. Oh, she was a good bang, was she? Best bangs is a big one. An even bigger heart. Oh, Eki thump. Oh, how long is this? This can't be that long. It's praising it. Okay, fine. We'll do this one. I want to do one positive. See, that's how I'm so nice to Chibnall. Full of spectacular action, explosions, epic battles, and plenty of old faces. Doctor Who, the Power of the Doctor is a glorious send-off for Whittaker's 13th Doctor. No, it wasn't. Jodie Whittaker's final man of Doctor Who leaves an outgoing showrunner shift with a lot of heavy lifting to do. Yes, it did. Okay, did it do any of it? No. Not only is it Whittaker's swan song, but it's the it runs into a feature length. It runs the length of a feature film at a whopping hour and a half, and as part of the BBC Centenary celebrations, Power of the Doctor BBC One approaches this mammoth task, rolling up its sleeves by throwing everything at it, and then taking back and then throwing some more. It goes big before it goes home. Again, I like you focusing on the positives. Yes, it does all of those things. You are not fibbing, right? You are not fibbing. This might set alarm bells ringing for some. What, like people who watched it? That's true. But there's no need to worry. It was shit. Yeah, we all knew. When it follows some of its worst instincts, Doctor Who can be turned into a convoluted tangle impenetrable to casual viewers, dragged down by its own matters mythology. It's impenetrable to any viewer, right? It just went from basically it's like this. It says the normie has always thought Doctor Who to be incomprehensible. They don't understand what's going on. So they don't need to make the normie watch it. They don't need to make him understand what's going on. I think that was Chris Chibnall's take on it. The episode is bombastic and so stuffed with Easter eggs and nods to the past. I doubt I even caught half of them. I doubt you did either. But it rolls through meaty time, more actually several stories that eventually converge with Whittaker's trademark energy and just the right lightness of touch. Okay, again, it sounds like she's masturbating, right? She's not very good. It begins with a long mini episode-ish sequence before the title gets going. More like a finale than an opener, which sets up the ambitions from the off. I agree. Yeah, look, I agree. I thought it was an ambitious scene that, apart from Whittaker's horrible miscasting, actually worked. Right? I like the pre-title sequence. Right? Parallel Doctors are back to basics, Doctor Who, with add-ons and extras. Yeah, you mean all the shit they did. The BBC told them, stop doing that. You've destroyed the brand enough, right? Like, so I think in some part of the that rumor where he walked off production during was it Future of the Jadoon? Something the BBC found out what they're doing, said, no, you got to stop. He said he walked off production, said, either we do my way or the highway, and he came back, right? That's what I heard, right? There was some contention. I have no idea how true that is. It might be completely bullshit. It might be completely true, right? It's probably somewhere in between. I really genuinely don't know, but it might be complete bullshit. I mean, it really might be complete bullshit. But it feels like they just told him to get rid of the Timeless Child. Having dealt with Time Loop, Sea Devils, and Pirates in the first two of the last three specials, Doctor is now up against their old foes, the Cybermen. Only these Cybermen have been beefed up and boosted somehow, find an angelically an angelic-looking child, beefed up somehow by way of an angelic-looking child, which only ever signals. No, they weren't beefed up by the angelic-looking child. Only these Cybermen have been beefed up and boosted somehow by way of an angelic-looking child. No, they were stealing the child, which only ever signals something is incredibly creepy is about to happen. You don't even understand the plot. Case in point. Bloody hell. Any promise of a slow, creep, spooky episode was dispensed with quickly, however, as the action careers off. 50 of the world's greatest paintings that got missing. Seismologists, well, haven't they got hidden? Seismologists around the world are disappearing. There may or may not be another moon in the sky in Siberia. May or may not be another moon in the sky. In Siberia in 1916, then in London 2022, the Daleks appeared, then the Master himself. But you're trying to say the plot, you can't do it. Meaning Saturn gets to bring the darkest parts of the last episode and the lightest into this unhinged panto villain shtick. Really does shine here. I agree. That's a fair praise, right? And there's one scene particularly where it truly lets rip. I like that scene. Still like it. I'm not sure I'm supposed to enjoy this his malevolent presence as much as quite. Of course you are, but his throttling toilet tramps are hard to resist. They were good. The Doctor dealing with the triumphs of old school evil as several loose threads heave interview, flicking the between planets and eras. There's a sort of Siri on steroids bit. Don't remember that. Some meditations on consciousness and hope. Dastardly plan and that nearly all comes together. Do I win a prize if I guess how it all fits together? She asked at one point, which is a question I've asked myself routinely since roughly 2012. Not quite sure I have the answer. Yeah, look, she's a Karen Normie who's never understood Doctor Who. And she goes, oh, look, it's more Doctor Who. Doesn't make sense. Oh, it's okay. That's why you think this is normal. Because for you, Doctor Who's never made sense because you're not very clever. Right? Obviously. Doesn't matter. Not really. Actually, as the episodes go, this is largely comprehensible. No, it's not. Luckily, I am forbidding myself for reasons of spoilers. And definitely not because I couldn't if I tried. You couldn't if you tried because it doesn't make any sense. Considering this is a super long episode, it trots around at a decent speed. True, good. When it gives praise, that's correct. I will say true. That's true praise, right? And rarely dips. Fans, old and new, should find plenty to delight them. The return of Ace and Tegan, who get their own slice of adventures as well as time to reflect on what it means to be an ex-companion, mixes air-punching glee with emotional depth. Yes, again, not Jodie was good. Old faces come and go. There are countless welcome surprises drip through, and and this gives stately air, which seems fitting given its celebratory centenary purpose. Okay, well, they thought it was the 60th, right? But it's really about saying goodbye to Jodie Whittaker's doctor. Na-na-na-na, goodbye. Who brought real warmth and spirit to role. No, she didn't. It could also be a hello to Shooty Gutwell, who presumably... Oh, so this person hasn't seen the regeneration. They just saw it up till then. The power of the Doctor finds plenty of room to set. Fine, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this came from the preview thing, so they didn't see it. Let's see how they're looking about the fan service. Let's see what's say about fan service on a bit of Bleeding Cool. Then we'll talk about Big Finish. Fan service in all the right ways. Is this a long article? So I'm running out of steam. No, I can do this. Fine. By Adi Tantamed. Doctor Who Power Zone on fan service in all the right ways. Doctor Who's Power of the Doctor is the end of the Jodie Whittaker, is the end of an era, the last gasp of Jodie Whittaker and showrunner Chris Chibnall. Bye. Since the review goes out before US broadcast, we thought we'll keep the biggest spoilers out of it. Richard's more detailed review later. You probably know by now, Dr. Yaz, Dan, blah, 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 blah. We already know the biggest spoiler of the regeneration. Everybody in the world already knows the spoiler months ago, and that's where Rusty Davis and the BBC before the media and the internet, you could even leak it. There are plenty of spoilers you might want to discover for yourself. Watch Doctor Who Power of the Daleks. We are Power of the Dark Doctor. We are not going to spoil you more than you already know. What you already know is it any good? Well, what you want to know is it any good? Well, for Jodie Whittaker, sure. Chris Chibnall makes this his Doctor Who finale a fan service fun park. There are some fans who are dreading the Power of the Doctor after the middling mess that was Flux. Best work yet. I mean, like, how do you say it was middling mess when you praised season 11, which was garbage, right? Far worse than Flux. Season 11 had no good ideas in it at all. Flux had some good ideas in it and was fun. It was frothy. It was stupid. It didn't work, but it was like so much better than season 11, right? Chibnall seemed to know exactly what was wrong with Flux and decided to go full on fan service. He wrote them together and gave everything they could possibly want from the Power of the Doctor. Yeah, I think he's so demoralized he probably won't even do Big Finish. Again, so badly cast. Look at that face. So it's a lot better than Fox by going the other way around, going the whole hog, a breathless pace, ending running an action of people. That's exactly what Flux was, with people standing around explaining the plot and the tech gobbledygook to each other. There's nothing new here. It's not an attempt to do anything new. It's all fan service. Start excitement, master, previous companions, surprises. It feels like an episode from the 1980s. The callbacks to Chestnut plot to keep everything running. Chris Chibnall, Chibnall is like a TV writer from the 70s and 80s, more reliant on plot than characterization, which is his plots are awful, which are grafted into the plot. He relies on his plots are awful too. He relies on standard format of not only Doctor Who but virtually all procedural television. Something external drops into the hero's lap. The hero must now and friends must solve it. Meanwhile, it goes. It does show everything a fan could possibly want to see in the special like this. Not only does our final scenes of regeneration, Chibnall has done this before. Throws stuff at the wall and see what sticks. During the utterly nonsensical plot, which we all agree that no one will remember. That's also true. But everyone will remember the fan service. Oh, that's a fair point. And it works. I agree. It's fun. It's fun, fast, and plays on Whittaker's strength. As a Doctor, it finally gives us her best Doctor Who episode. It makes us sorry to go. No, it doesn't. It's a piece of old school Doctor Who, going back to 2005 revival of the classic show with production values and FX that look good. I agree. And unlike Flux, everyone doesn't stand around interminably explain the plot to each other and still fail. This time, It takes this time. It takes just a few lines before speeding off into the next bit. That's true because we don't understand it. And now Jim Whitaker era is over. Yes, na 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 na. Hey, goodbye. She should have been. She should have many more good stories on Doctor Who. Instead, she only has a small hand. She doesn't have any. Chris Capaldi should have had a lot more. Should have had all her run, right? The clock's been reset. The toys are back in the box. Rusty Davis takes over. Everything old. Everything is old and both new again. You know what that means. You don't. You know what that means. You don't want it any other way. P.S. This isn't a spoiler since you already know unit troops are still totally unison of Firefly, as are the Firefly, as are the Cybermen. The show's registered. Nothing new or surprising. It's been a mantra since this era of Doctor Who. So hopefully we're now. So hopefully we're now in for the opposite. Who knows? There you go. There you go. I think that's a review roundup. So let's just make it like this. The plot is gobbledygook garbage. Characterizations are awful with fan service that worked, right? I think fan service that worked. Fine. Let's talk about Big Finish. Let me go over there. Fine. So I can't share the screen roll. Okay? This is like communications people have sent me. So I got to find them first. Is this it? Oh, 1 second. I think we have to stop and see this. Here, 1 second. Jim Davison review of Power of the Doctor. I think yes, we do have to stop and watch this from GBTV. Let me sure the sound's turned up. See if you can hear it. 51 seconds long.
Latest in the go woke, go broke phenomenon. This is Doctor Who, right? So it's had to bring back David Tennant because basically the show is so woke now. All of its loyal viewers are just switching off. They've ruined it, haven't they, Jim?
Yeah, they have. And what David Tennant should do, I think I was always a Star Trek fan. I thought Doctor Who was a bit wooden, like sort of the sci-fi pantomime. So David Tennant as Doctor Who should go back into the past, find out where woke came from, and stamp it out immediately. We might get some better TV shows. That's all about time travel. The time travel cannot happen, Dan, because if time travel did exist in the future, we'd be full of tourists from the future. I think Sean Bailey is from the future, or maybe he might be the future.
Okay, that went off into a weird tangent. Fine, thank you very much for that. But here, let me try and find the Big Finish stuff. Where is it? No, that's not it. So fine, it was another message. Oh, that reminds me. I nearly forgot. Okay, Dr. Alex's channel. Let me pull that up. 1 second. He's got a lot of fun stuff going on. Tomorrow night. What time is it? Yeah, fine. Let me pull this up and then I'll here it is. This premieres tomorrow, I believe.
Have the freedom of my.
There we go. Oh, it's already started. Wait, let me just do his channel. He's got something. I thought it was going on tomorrow. Wombling Free. Right. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Let me share his channel. He has Wombling Free, which sounds completely bonkers. It's a full 1977 movie. He's got a lot of fun stuff in his channel. He's got Fantastic Planet, that weird French sci-fi cartoon from '73. He has a lot of interesting stuff going on on his channel. What else we got? He had another couple of interesting cartoons. Anyway, yeah, so I forgot. I wanted to plug that. That's let's go. Yeah, it's there. Looking for the Big Finish stuff. Now, where was it? Is it this one? No. I'm like going through all my messages. It's this guy. Okay, fine. Found them. Okay, so let me start seeing where I can go through this. So people, seeing people on Discord who work on audio publishing, Big Finish days are numbered. Russell Davis and Bad Wolf are looking for a large distributor like Audible, using Sony connection. They'll slowly phase up Big Finish until there's nothing left. So then there was a composer who worked there who said they got the license to 2030, which I believe is the case, right? And they'll probably do something with the incumbent doctor on Audible, right? That's what they're saying. So if they're doing shooty stuff on Audible and they start using classic items, that prohibits Big Finish from using them. So what they're saying is Russell Davis will put a stop to using amazing characters, which in turn will leave them not much business. Basically, their days are numbered, right? And I'm like, and people are arguing it. So here, let me see if I can. He sent me screenshots of the where is it? Of the things going on Audible. So message one says, can I share this? I don't know. I don't know if this is a private message, so I'm just going to read it, right? Reduce commercial value of their contract. All current highly commercial assets, like New Who, Angels, River Song, add Tom Baker's of S. McCoy McGann, not much left to use. This is happening, apparently. I don't know. I don't know if this is true or not. Read their back catalog. Again, refer to all newly requested elements not being reused or reissued, so to cause consumer confusion. That's a big deal. This is most of their catalog. While Sony, BBC, Bad Wolf, and Audible set up their own version, their own audio Whoverse in terms of pods, fan talk, and audio adventures, Big Finish Productions are left with legacy assets they can't utilize anymore, and new content that's only targeting a fraction of the past sales. Slowly reduce ads and Big Finish reviews in Doctor Magazine. This is actually happening at the instruction of Russell Davis, they're told. Again, I don't know if that's true. 2 years down the line, a one-off payment made to buy back the catalog or simply re-record. My own preferences were I to be sharp would be to bolster the audio library with BBC-owned audios and re-record other than navigate the rights. I don't know. But listen, make sure you have physical media, okay? And then I got... so the audio market has evolved massively. It's another message. It's changed all the way around. It's exciting and violently problematic. The US and Canada are now the biggest commercial audio podcast market in the world. Then India is commercial content, commercial audio player, and was sorted out the gold rush. Big Finish stayed out of it. They had a model. They stuck to it. The younger producers would speak to them at Big Finish Production, would fit into this new world, offer me lunches, and then they then cancelled and never followed up. A commercial audio company. They are a commercial audio company. They have got themselves into a prime position in New World Audio. They didn't. I see what they're saying. The avalanche has started. It's too late for the pebbles to vote. I hear what they're saying. It sounds like Big Finish days are numbered, right? It does sound like Big Finish days are numbered. I hope that's not true. Actually, I can show you both these messages. Doink. Again, no, the messages. It says messages, doesn't say. But yeah, look, they're basically saying Big Finish days are numbered, which is very sad. So they're saying they're going to set up their own audio like audio group and focus on current era stuff with the shooty era stuff, and then incorporate classic era stuff into it. Once the classic era stuff is incorporated into it, it's then off limits for Big Finish, and then so they have a catalog they can't use anymore and new productions they can't make. I hope that's not the case, right? I do hope that's not the case, but who knows? Really, who knows? It doesn't sound like Russell Davis to me, right? Yeah, it doesn't sound like Russell Davis at all to me. It sounds like, again, I would like to hope they buy out Big Finish rather than do it this way, but who knows? Who knows what dares to dream? I guess we'll find out the next year, right? I guess we'll find out next year. Programming now, I'm on Monday and Thursday this week. Monday and Wednesday this week because I have a bar mitzvah on Thursday. And so I don't want to do Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't want to do Monday, Tuesday. So I'm doing Monday, Wednesday. Monday, Wednesday this week live. Dave Miner says, how my big finish being Elbetter side? But the business, these sort of outsourced licensee are always viable. Remember Virgin Books. Exactly. In fact, I might have to make another I think I might make a short video on that. That turned out to be a bigger story than I thought. Yeah, it doesn't look good for Big Finish, in my opinion. I hope they survive. I do hope they survive. Fine. With that, I think I'm going to wrap up. I'm not doing Andor. Right, I mean, I think we're just dropping Andor. Who gives a shit? Episode 6, they do the bank job, and most people die. He gets away, and then he takes his cut and he leaves. Right. Episode 7, he goes to meet his mom. His mom's the rebellion. They're all really excited about the rebellion now, and the Empire's clamping down on everyone. Yeah, and so he goes to see his back to the planet, meet his mom, and then he says, "You've got to run." And then you see him on this like beach planet, and he goes out to the store and he gets arrested for no reason. And he gets sent to jail. And then episode 9, he's in jail, right? You got that weird bloke who is obsessed with him, like the Javert who is obsessed with him. And you got the kind of hot looking imperial woman in white who's noticed somebody's funding putting together a rebellion and getting parts from across the galaxy, and they got Scanning Skarsgård who's trying not to get caught. There you go. You're caught up. Who gives a shit? It's boring as hell. But I did 3 hours in 3 minutes. Fine. That's the plot. Fine. I'm going to hit the end broadcast button. Thank you for joining me. Bye.